Welcome back, everyone. Mike McConville here one more time, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. Since we've got a couple of D28s. Now, Murray's 1969 D28 is in for a neck reset, the full treatment, compensated, not compensated saddle. We will walk you through that as always. This is the latest configuration of the neck removal jig. I thought I would use a brand new one just so you can kind of see exactly what you're getting when you order these things. With these new jigs, I don't even adjust this. I don't touch it. I just put it into place. You have enough compression with that hard rubber to give you all that upward tension that you need to release the neck once it's steamed. I still prefer steam, but I know that there's lots of guys using those electrical wires to do this job. So this just kind of sets into place like so. And you got a little bit of forgiveness to move things around a bit. Now for you guys that have your tech decks, you can see I have the whole thing on a bit of a cant, so whatever steam or possible water runs downhill away from the guitar. I'm letting that cappuccino maker heat up there with my steaming needle as I do this. This just kind of slips into place. We'll set that timer for 20 seconds actually, 20 seconds per side. And you want to see the steam coming out the other hole, then you know you kind of hit pay dirt as far as those drilled holes go. And I see glue spitting up there, that's good. That's 20 seconds. I come back the other way, same deal, 20 seconds. Now this is preloaded. It's already got that upward pressure on the tip. Okay, you give that a whirl. Just another 20 seconds. The other side. So I did snug those front ones down. They're the ones that are actually pushing up on the tip of the heel. The back ones are actually holding the sides together so you don't get any accidental cracks or splits. There we go. So that's 20 and 20. That'll do it. Now, I did rub that with some pumice dry and then put a little drop of lemon oil on it. You can use linseed oil as well. You know, now we've got these ultra-fine compounds that just zip off that blushing in no time. And there we go. So that came off beautifully. There isn't a single fracture or crack along that top. You can see that plastic is lifted a little bit, but that's not a big deal. We'll be resetting this neck today, putting it back into place. This pick guard is going to come off. I can see already that we've got some cracking, which is typical. This is a 1969. The plastic shrinks and the wood gives way. And we have that proverbial pick guard shrinking crack in the top. So this is the wrap-up on Murray's 1969 D28. So how much compensation did we need? This is how much. So that is the reverse cantilevered compensated saddle to make up for the fact that Martin got the bridge in the wrong place. And Mark Stutman from Folkways talks about this issue in a recent short 10-minute video that he just posted. Thank you for that, Mark. And you can see I've got an extra ball end on here. Actually, 5 of the 6 strings have that extra ball end. The idea of that is to pull the string in so that the natural diameter, not the return wind, rests on the focal point of the saddle. This is a fairly common practice with those pyramid bridges too, where there's not a lot of distance from the pinhole to the edge of the saddle itself. Mark also mentions in that video, he was saying 70s guitars. Now, this is in 1969, and I've done several 70s to late 70s guitars over the last few years, and they do indeed have that monster bridge plate, a much larger footprint than that D28 behind me, which is a 2007. That one has a maple bridge plate instead of rosewood and much smaller footprint. I figured I'd take this opportunity to compare apples to apples. This is the final product on this 1969 D28. And as mentioned, you need to double up those ball ends to pull the natural diameter of the string back so that that return wind doesn't sit like a clump on the focal point of the saddle. So we're about to go and hear this, but before we do, I wanted to take a look at that other saddle. This is John's D28, it's a left-handed one. And you can see that the compensated cantilevered saddle in this case isn't even remotely the same as the saddle on Murray's guitar. Same scale length, same strings, same tuning. It's a moving target, like I keep saying. Let's have a look at the 2 compensated nuts to see what they look like. And these are the values on John's left-handed Martin D28 with 12 to 53 strings. And this is Murray's D28 So as you can see, big difference. There is our reset neck angle. There's the action on the bass side. All our new frets. And this is the action on the treble side. So we're going to bring this in and you can have a listen. And this is our heel to side joint. So for the first time in 55 years since this guitar was made, it plays perfectly in tune. Let's have a listen. You be the judge. So I'm doing these triads again. But I'm creating a melody with the inner voice, this one. Try that in the middle group of strings. And the bass group. The next tuning check is sort of jumping cross-sectionally.